Hey guys, this is the AfterBuzz TV Total Divas After Show. We are going to be breaking down Season 5, Episode 13, C'est la Diva. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes.
No one can see us dancing like total dorks.
I bet they know though. They just know. I mean, like we're gonna bump this jam and not dance a little bit. It is Ladies' Night here at AfterBuzz TV, and it was Ladies' Night in Gale Paris on Total Divas. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with us on AfterBuzz TV. I see a lot of you hanging out in the live chat. You're talking about today's big Divas news. We are gonna hear from some of you. Please hit that thumbs up button while you're at it. And we are on iTunes and SoundCloud as well. We would appreciate a 5-star rating. Leave a little comment. Let us know what you think about the show, about our show, about Total Divas. You can follow the entire AfterBuzz TV team at AfterBuzz TV. My name is Christy Olson. Hit me up at Christy Reports, and I've got some other ladies with me tonight. Megan, introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, I jumped the gun. Hey, guys, it's Megan Stecher, and I'd love for you to tweet me at Megan Stecher.
Hey everyone, I'm Paulina Aguilar, and you can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar.
Yeah, I'm inclined to just let the song roll and not say a word. I don't know. I'd be okay with it.
Right? It's a good throwback for me, like a good era of my life.
Right? And I can imagine in the music video, the ladies were having a good time. They could have been going to cryo and getting a little chilly with it. Chili wasn't on that song, though.
I'm pretending I know the words. Yeah. This part of the song, like the Bratz rap. I don't know it, but I'm pretending I do.
Brat was on there too. Oh my gosh.
I love her.
Such a good jam. But we have all the WWE ladies heading to Paris on this episode of the show. Let's jump right into it. Just as Nikki and Natty jumped right into those cryotherapy booths, I gotta say, I'm so over seeing everyone on reality TV go to cryo. Like, I feel like I have to talk about it every week on some freaking show. Like, I know. But at least in this sense, it makes sense for athletes to be doing it. It's not like when the Real Housewives were jumping up in there. Like, okay.
It's
and it
trending.
was cute. It is trendy. Would you guys want to do it?
Trendy. Hail to the no. I hate being cold.
I would.
You would do it?
Yeah, I would try it.
I think I would do it once for the novelty, like if it was paid for, because I've been hearing so many people, like Maria Menounos' fiance Kevin, who's one of our CEOs and co-founders. He on his show last night, The Tomorrow Show, Russell Simmons was on as a guest, and he was saying like he's so addicted, like every day has to be all about like meditating and doing yoga, but now he's also getting addicted to doing like the cryo freeze thing. And I'm like, wow, is it really like that great? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I hate being cold, so I don't think I'd love it.
I feel like it just makes sense for athletes. You know, your muscles and aches and all that stuff. Like, you need that type of therapy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I would make sure there was no holes in my towel, especially if the cameras are there. Of course, Natty gets the towel with the hole in it.
I know. It was so close to her nipple. I swear. I'm like, it's a shock it wasn't like her nipple sticking out of that hole.
Meanwhile, backstage at TV, Nikki and Brie and Foxy talk about the fact that they are going to Paris. Finally, we saw this all happen before the season even started to air. We saw it all over Instagram. And actually, we know that they found out that they were going to Paris in the conversation where Mark told them all that Mandy was coming and joining the cast and all of that. So they've known for quite a while. They thought we would forget. We don't forget nothing here at AfterBuzz TV. So they're going to go to Paris, and we learned that Foxy and Rosa have not mended their friendship since Foxy couldn't make it to the baby shower, and it sounds like they haven't spoken in quite a while. I was surprised to hear how much Foxy was like done. Like at the beginning of this episode, she was over it.
I think there must have been some stuff off camera that we didn't get to see, because Foxy was explaining like, I yelled at her and she yelled at me, and we both said what we wanted to say. So I think that that's what we missed, and maybe it was pretty deep. Pretty, I don't know. I get it. I would have been avoiding each other as well if I were either one of them.
Well, yeah, and Foxy's just so like turned off by Rosa's behavior is what it seems like.
Right.
Yet we don't really hear what she's done besides making it all about her and the baby.
From what we've seen, I'm annoyed. I think Foxy needs to just kind of grow up and man up. If your friend, if she's been your friend for 10 years, you guys should know each other enough to how to approach them, how to talk to them, how to fix things, you know, things like that. I think Rosa was a little bit selfish and all about me, and baby, that she didn't even acknowledge when Foxy said, oh yeah, Preachy is sick that one time, and just right over her head. But I mean, if I were Rosa, I wouldn't be mad because it's a family issue. Unless you are going to have drinks somewhere and missing my baby shower, then I'm going to have a problem. But if it's a family issue, medical, whatever, take me out to lunch or something, you know, like make it up later. Don't worry about it.
I feel like it is a little bit juvenile to have a thing where you're fighting with each other and not speaking, and it's a little bit, I don't know.
Especially when
It's
these ladies
so Real
spend so
Housewives.
much time together. Well, yeah, these ladies are on the road together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think it's really that uncommon for friendships, even long ones, to not survive things like babies, pregnancy, or weddings. I know I've lost some friends over things like that before. It's like when someone is going through a huge life-changing thing, they maybe take their time to reassess too. And if Rosa was going, oh, well, Foxy isn't here for me in this important time in my life, but really it all ends up being blown over pretty quickly.
Right?
Oh, we'll get there. But we learned that Eva Marie is also looking at this Paris trip as an opportunity to kind of repair her relationship with the girls. I hate how little we've seen her this season.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of her kind of making good with everyone. Because that's been going on since the beginning of last season.
Agreed.
Do you think we've seen her less this season because she's
Yeah, we
spending
have.
so much time at developmental training at
Yes.
the Performance Center?
Exactly.
See,
and
but
none of the other
wasn't-
ladies are there, and so there's no one for her to shoot with or to play off of.
I mean, wasn't that the focus a lot last season, though, too?
Was that she couldn't wrestle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of nice that they didn't focus on her being in developmental this year, but it's weird that she's a cast member and we hardly saw her. It was like she was a ghost. They didn't even really talk about her at all.
Right. Yeah, and we love Eva.
And I'm sure we'll see her a lot more next season. I mean, I'd rather have her go train and be a better athlete in wrestling and come back and know what you're doing, you know? Like, you're not just here for the show. You're here to compete.
And she has been brought back up to the main roster now in the last couple weeks. So.
Okay, I was going to ask, like, do you think we'll see more of her? Is she wrestling with the pros? Okay.
Yeah, she came back to join Team Total Divas for WrestleMania last week. So
Okay.
she's back. She's back on TV.
Except now they're like Team Women or whatever. What's the rebranding called again?
Well, I know everyone is still a little bit up in there. We're like, what do we call them and what do we say? I kind of want to just keep calling them divas, but that's not in this realm of the reality show and what they are in this show. It seems appropriate, but I realize that
For that.
they've really eclipsed that label as far as wrestling goes. So we really can't do that anymore. But they're making some changes to possibly the title of this show as well.
Wait, when? Oh, really?
Well, I guess we have to wait till news and gossip.
Yes, I'm gonna
it.
make you ladies sweat it out.
Oh,
Dang it.
No, when is the wrestling here in LA again?
I think they're back in LA in like a month.
Okay,
We
you
have to double check.
remind me and Megan because I want to go.
Yes, we will
I've
go to
never
Raw
been,
the next time. I
and
promise.
I'm hoping. Okay,
I promise.
That's
I
been
know
my
we
goal
kind of
since, like, last season.
Let this LA visit slip by this week because of all the WrestleMania hoopla.
Right,
But yes,
yeah.
I promise. George and I will take you guys to Raw next time they're in town.
You had me
You
at
all
beer,
heard it here.
so-
They can hold me to it.
You had me a beer and a hot dog.
Well, let's take a little trip right now to Paris. Let's hop on a plane and take a 26-hour flight or however the hell long it takes to get there. That's one thing they usually harp on in reality shows. They show everybody like schlepping to the
so
airport,
tired, yeah.
like, oh God, we have to be on a plane. But all of a sudden, we were just there in this episode.
I loved it. No wasting any time.
Right? It's fine by us. So we learned that Nikki and Brie are actually going to return to Paris very soon in a few weeks with their grandma for their grandma's birthday. And I don't know if we'll see that on the show. I'm sure
Probably
that we
not.
will.
Or maybe later on
They ended
next
up
season.
being there during the terrorist attacks.
my
And they
gosh.
literally, like, John Cena had to like charter a private jet to get them out, and it was a very scary situation. So I don't want to say like I would like to see that unfold on TV, but it would be something to see their journey in that and getting out of that situation.
I didn't know about that.
Their poor grandma.
That's
Because
scary.
they said it was her bucket list.
And
like,
then this
and she's
happens.
83. Oh, you worry about them like being able to handle it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, and it sort of is weighing on what Nikki and Brie are going to be doing while they're in Paris, because they're like, we don't need to go see the sights. We're coming back
Right.
in a couple weeks.
Right.
We just want to relax, or someone wants to relax and drink some wine.
Only one
Somebody
person
wants to
wanted
work
to chill
out.
out.
And Foxy wants to have a couture photo shoot, which we didn't see in this half of the finale. Maybe that'll be next week. Although they do so many freaking photo shoots, and they wear nice clothes all the time. I was kind of like, is that necessary?
Right.
Right? Like, that would be fun for
feel
us.
the same.
You don't think it's fun for them,
No.
right?
No, they get to take free clothes home and get all dolled up.
Yeah. They have a
job.
double house just waiting for them when they arrive in Paris. I mean, they've got everything lined up, and there's a lot of rooms. Rosa is talking about she doesn't want anyone stressing out her baby. I feel like she is the only one stressing out her baby.
Yes.
Right? And this whole room thing, and I didn't quite get why there was so much hoopla about where's everyone going to stay, and it's this and that. Obviously, they could hear what was going on in the entire home.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Were you interested in that? You said it felt like watching The Real World, right, Megan?
It did to me when everyone's running into the house right away, and like,
Picking
of
a
course,
room.
Paige is the first one upstairs and like shouting out like "Deb's on this room." Like, it just was so Real World to me because I used to love that. It was like day one, and like everybody wanted to be the first to arrive to pick the good room, and it just was very reminiscent of that for me.
I just thought it was dumb. The whole conflict of it was just dumb. It's like, okay, more space for me. Like, I don't care. Like, we're gonna go have dinners and hanging out and stuff. But as long as I get my own room and my own space, I'm happy. And if
I'm surprised more wasn't made of the Bellas trying to
Like, seclude themselves.
yes, constantly doing their own thing and not doing the group thing. I'm surprised more wasn't made out of that, at least by producers. Because I feel like there would have been little whispers of it behind their back in real life.
I feel like they went into Paris with things already planned. Like, okay, I have reservations Tuesday. I
Right.
have this to, they had certain things that they wanted to do. But the Bella twins also have each other to do that with. I think John made reservations like almost every night. I would go too. See ya, peace.
It felt to me a little bit like they were testing them for their spinoff. Or
really?
like for some reason there was
I hope so.
There's
I'd
some
watch.
reason why
I'd
they were
watch.
just being filmed by themselves a lot of the time, and they're taking this other trip soon.
I love a
Reeks of
spinoff.
spinoff.
Well,
Reeks.
they're the reason I watch Divas, so
Right?
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I
No,
wouldn't
same
mind
here.
a show that's like 60 minutes of Bellas, not 30 minutes of Bellas. Because I feel like they get the majority of the airtime, but
Anyway.
it's still like not enough for me. Like, I live for them, so.
Well, I wondered if maybe they were looking at having some of the other ladies on as well. Like, Eva ended up kind of getting dragged along with them quite often. But first, we see her and Foxy have this moment where we remember it was episodes ago where Foxy kind of went off on Eva in the car. She seemed like we decided she was maybe a little tipsy.
Right.
And they're finally talking it out. This was a cute moment, right?
I thought it was nice.
I forgot all about it. I literally forgot all about it until she brought it up.
Well,
I
it
did
is kind of
forget.
seems like one of those things where they talk about, oh God, we're so mad at each other and we haven't spoken and this and that. And then they finally do a few words and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's totally cool. Like, Eva really, I think, really wants to get along with everyone. You know, she's not holding any grudges. Like, they haven't treated her well over the years. And she was just ready to be like, oh, no, we're good, Foxy, we're good. We're good.
I feel like this was like a weird like rebranding episode for Eva because we really haven't seen her all season, and I felt like her role on the show was always to disrupt, and she always had a side storyline with Jonathan, and like it's a lot about their arguments, and then it was always about what argument she was in with what diva because everyone's jealous of her. And this episode, it was nothing but her being really quiet and really understanding and really sweet, and it was just a little weird for me. I was like, where's her personality? Like, what happened?
That's a good point.
It was a little off. Like the vibe felt off for me because I was like, where is Eva? This is like somebody came into Eva's body like alien style, and she's just like, yeah, like what conversation was she having with Fox, when she was just like, I think Rosa's just like consumed with the baby and consumed with Bobby. It's like we've never seen this girly, girlfriendy side of her.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. I was just thinking like, oh, time heals all, and enough time went by to where she was okay and accepted her apology.
I'm just trying to check out what the chat roll is saying. AJ0314 said 60 minutes of Bella's, dear Lord. Oh, you might be the only one who feels that way, AJ. What else are they saying? Oh, they are talking. Oh, Brian Rice said he thought Rosa was being dramatic.
And I swore that was the house the Real World Paris cast stayed in, Joseph Boza said. Oh,
could have been.
Well, he would know. Ah, something for us to look into. Well, we know they went and bought macaroons because Nikki is all about the macaroons. Now, these are those cute little cookies. They have like stuff in the middle or something, right?
Yeah, I've never had them.
You've never had one?
The first time I saw it was on MasterChef when they had to make it.
Macaroons, for me, it's either like they're really good or they're a little too sugary or they taste too much like tangy egg whitey flavor to me. Like, it has to be done perfectly right to me.
And they should be pink.
Oh my God. You know what? Remember how they became like the fashion girl, like Instagram worthy item of the year, like 2014?
Like everyone would pretend to eat one.
Oh my God. Wasn't that the best? Like girls pretending to, it was like an Instagram account.
So dumb.
About girls pretending to eat food on Instagram.
We pull it up and
so
it's every other
stupid.
picture is Paulina.
Oh God. Dislike. No.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, now I want to present something for a little bit of a debate. Yes. Because even while we were watching the show, it seemed like we were differing in what we thought about this. So Foxy decided not to go to the Eiffel Tower. I think it was obvious she knew what was happening. I think all the girls knew that Bobby was going to be there, that he was going to propose. Paige clearly was in on the whole thing, but I think they all were. And I kind of read that whole scene as Foxy being like, I'm so over her. I don't want to go and like pretend to be happy or like be involved in this moment in her life. And Paulina, you were saying you didn't think that anyone was privy to what was going to happen,
I didn't
right?
think all the girls knew, because if that was the case, I would think that the Bellas would want to be there. You know, Nikki loves love. I figured it would be a nice romantic thing for her to, it's her friend. Mm-hmm. They're all there together. I mean, I would have gone. So it was weird for them not to be there. That's why I thought that they didn't know.
I don't know. Maybe Nikki like can't stand another proposal on the show. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
I would like to give her more credit than that because I don't think she's a spiteful person. But you never know.
No, I think she totally would have gone. Unless to what, instead of going bike riding, you know, like you go after her. I don't know. Like I would have gone. I don't know. I did not like Foxy's decision on that. If you're her friend for 10 years and you claim that you're going to be civil with her on this trip, you can't sit in the back and watch and smile inside and secretly pretend. I don't know. Be there for your friend. At least this is another big moment for her.
Yeah, when Paige said that Foxy was going to regret it forever, I totally agree with that.
And then they become friends again. Oh, sorry, I missed your proposal.
Right? Like, that's so stupid. You're right. It's like, it's unnecessary. It was unnecessary for her to miss that moment in Rose's life.
She drugged that out.
She was just so over it. And she also missed this little convo in the car for the millionth time. We have to talk about how Natty and TJ have only ever been with Natty and TJ, which it is really, really cute. Paige doesn't think that she could ever do it. And they oddly enough think that Mandy was going to be the next one to like get married and have the kids and all that kind of stuff, which just makes sense. She and her man have been together for like 5 years. But I don't know. I just don't. I don't find it so outrageous that Natty and TJ have only ever been together.
No, I think it's cute. It's rare.
Super rare.
It's nice.
I also thought it was cute that she was like, I never found another guy that was better than TJ, which is sweet to hear, because I think a lot of people think if you've been with your first boyfriend or girlfriend your entire life that like you never looked, or you're an idiot for not ever looking for someone better, or you know, how old-fashioned. And she's like, no, I mean, I took a stab at it, but he was the best thing I could find. I thought that was sweet, though.
You also gotta keep in mind she was like the one girl hanging out at the Stu Hart dungeon with all the boys.
Right.
And
Well,
had a big angry wrestler dad.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure she like TJ was like, oh, you know, that's TJ. He comes and wrestles every day, and like you should date TJ, and that's probably how it started.
I'm sure you're right.
Yeah, her options were limited to her environment. So.
Oh, that is so cute. We haven't seen much of him this season. Maybe next year.
But I thought what we did see of him this year was a lot more flattering than the way they tried to portray him in the past. So I'm happy for him about that.
Yeah, we never bought that there was trouble in paradise with them and that they tried to force that storyline.
I did buy
so
that.
Ingenuine. Oh, you did?
Well, here's the thing is like I don't watch the wrestling, and I wasn't reading all the blogs and everything, and like I wasn't on this panel with you guys, so I didn't have like insider info.
We didn't have you
So I was
convinced.
just sitting home like being convinced, because they seemed really pissed. You know, she wanted a divorce. I bought it.
Like any other viewer in America. Hello.
Look, she freaking wears the pants when it comes to TJ.
Oh, yeah.
At least on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, for sure bought it.
I love it.
I mean, afterwards I read that, like, no, it was fake.
You know, I think on some after shows they don't talk about the show being fake or like what is fake on the after show.
Right.
I hope that you guys appreciate that we break that. What is it? The fourth wall?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the fourth wall.
Huh?
I mean, we gotta break it down. We gotta get to the juicy good stuff.
I can barely
And
hear James
speaking
tonight.
of-
I'm like, what?
I know.
Sorry, James.
James, are you there?
Yes, it is the fourth wall.
Oh, there we go. Hi, great.
Well, speaking of breaking the walls, Paige is in on the secret, and they arrive at the Eiffel Tower. Who's there with some rose petals on the ground?
Your BFF, Bobby.
My BFF, Bobby Shubinsky. And he is nervous as all get out.
He didn't say very much.
No.
He said one thing and then got down on one knee.
Hardly got it out. But I got like weird, like emotional laughing, like with like teary eyes, because I was like, oh my God, he's so nervous. He's about to fall apart. And it was so obvious he was trying to propose, but she looked like bewildered, like still shocked that he was even there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he didn't even try to roll into it slowly at all. He just was like, you're the greatest thing in my life. And
Was your husband nervous when he proposed? How did he propose?
yeah,
He
let's hear this.
proposed on the beach in Santa Monica. He was here visiting. This was before he had moved here.
Like, well, like during sunset or something?
It was like late afternoon.
Aww.
And it was down further on the beach where there weren't a lot of people. And
Like what lifeguard tower number?
She doesn't even
it
care.
was pretty far
doesn't
down. It was
Okay.
it was like almost to that last parking lot. That's where we parked.
Okay.
On Santa Monica.
Did you know?
I had no idea, no clue whatsoever. We even had some like deep conversation in the car on the way there about like where we're gonna live, if he could live in LA and stuff. And I kind of thought like, oh shit, like he might be like, actually, I'm gonna leave and never come back. Like, have a nice life.
Right.
And then I looked over at him and he was down on one knee with a ring in his hand. So
And you're like, oh.
yes.
Okay, wait. Do you feel like a little bit like scared, like panicky that this is like the biggest decision you're about to make when it was about to happen?
No, I was so shocked that like I didn't even cry really or anything. Like I was just so surprised
You're not
that I think I
human.
couldn't really believe that. I was like legit shocked.
So you guys didn't really talk about getting married before he proposed. It was like a total surprise.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, James, how did you propose?
I proposed where we met at the Starbucks we met and we worked at, and she had no idea. And I like reenacted like what led to our first date with like an espresso shot, and I was like, I'd do this all over again, but first I have a question to ask you. And then I got down on one knee, and she kind of had the same reaction of like, wait, what is going on right now? Like,
What
is
is
this
going on?
real? Like, are you serious? And then like, yeah, yes, and then like no one in Starbucks reacted at all. Like,
I was about to
everyone
ask
just
if
went
anybody
on with
that
their
was there.
coffee, like nothing had happened.
What a bunch of jaded jerks.
Wow.
I can send you the video. I have it.
Oh my God. I watched a proposal in real life one time. I was at oh my God, what's that Asian restaurant on the top of the Hollywood Hills that everybody goes to?
Oh yeah, it's like fancy.
I was there
what you're
with
talking about.
the very first time we came to LA. The guy I was dating took me there, and we watched a couple get like, and no one reacted. It was like, I guess it happens all the time there. Like, no one said a word, and I was like, awkward.
So sad. I mean, let's be real. In this situation on Total Divas, Foxy did not react very well either. She was kind of rude about the whole thing.
Not even after that. I just realized that right now was that after they made amends, she didn't even was like, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I was like, damn girl, you cold.
At the moment where everyone was congratulating her when they were getting zhuzhed up before their media photo press thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing where she's like stood off on the side, not knowing whether to be like fake happy for her and say something or say nothing, and then she was like, whatever. I'm like, oh, I guess she decided on like the whatever.
Yeah, she just like said, screw it. I'm not going to pretend to do anything. Basically.
Awkward.
Super awkward. The chat roll is weighing in. Someone just said he made a music video and proposed, and now I lost it. But that sounds so sweet. I wish I could see who said
my
that.
boyfriend better do something good if we ever get married.
Have you guys talked about it?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, but we're just so broke. And his whole thing is, I will not be a bartender and propose to you. We're halfway there.
Yes.
He's got a freelance
Tom
job.
and Katie.
Kudos.
I know, he's got like a freelance job where he's not bartending anymore, but he moonlights bartending a couple times a week. So I think he wants in his mind to be like
Completely done.
done with that industry altogether.
Yeah, which is
I
totally
hear ya.
understandable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I always think too, if you're gonna be together forever, why
What's the rush?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I feel. I feel like we're already settled as a married couple would be.
Mm-hmm.
I'd enjoy to register for some great kitchen utensils.
Yes.
But other than that, it's like we have everything we need. We live together. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
You want a ring or a mix master more?
A what?
A mix master, isn't that what all women want? The
I
little,
don't know what that is.
What's that?
It's like the thing that mixes the cake, right?
I'm thinking of like a
Yes,
DJ
one of those
equipment or
things.
something.
Well,
Like,
I don't-
Like a chef.
I don't bake enough to have a KitchenAid.
My husband does all the baking. That's my suggestion for all of you. It was Brian Rice who said he made a music video and then proposed. That's so
How
cute. I love it.
cute. I love that.
Andrea Beeler said, "How do people not react to proposals? I would walk up and tell someone congrats at least. Like, yeah, dude."
I know. I'm like too much of a big mouth. I mean, back when I watched that one proposal and said nothing, I think I was in shock that no one said anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to react in that situation. But I think I never can hold back my tongue anymore. It's my old age. So I think I would be like, oh my God, congratulations.
Right? Well, someone should have told Foxy to do a little bit of that. And maybe it could have been Brie, because she was kind of in scold mode throughout this entire trip. She's telling Nikki about you're having another piece of bread and another glass of wine. She gets in on her about the heels too. It's like, Brie, come on, just have a good time. Like, Daniel Bryan's not there. No one will know if you have a few extra glasses of wine, girl.
Can we have a name for when Brie is in judgy mode rather than Brie mode's fun. Brie mode is great, Brie. When she's in judgy mode and so rude to Nikki, I'm like, we need a name for that mode.
Yeah, dude, like J mode or something. J for judgment. SR mode for self-righteousness.
Oh my God,
I don't know.
love it.
People get mad that I say the same stuff about her all the time, but she just keeps displaying the same behavior that I find
I love her.
frustrating.
No, I live for
You
her.
know you do.
But I just get mad when she's super judgy with Nikki sometimes.
I know. Let Nikki drink. Nikki, if you need somebody to drink wine and eat bread with and wear high heels, I am here for you, girl. We
Me
might not look the
too.
same, but I bet you we can have a darn good time. Meanwhile, Paige takes everybody to dinner, and Foxy decides that she's going to actually go along this time. And Rosa makes a very interesting toast about people missing things. So clearly, Rosa kind of took that opportunity to kind of jab it back at Foxy and be like, oh, hey, remember when you didn't come to my baby shower again? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, she's just not letting it
In
go.
the toast?
In the toast, she said that.
All I heard was thank you for everything.
Remember she was talking about, we
she
never
said-
used to miss
Yeah.
birthdays and this and that. Yeah, she was throwing a little dagger.
She certainly was.
Throwing a little dart.
I think that they're both failing to see it from each other's point of view, which I think after I've calmed down about being angry about something is the first thing I do. I'm like, well, why would they even have that asinine point of view anyway? And it's like, well, let me think about it. Hold on. So I think that they're both failing to do that.
Well, you know what else was missing from this episode? What we've seen in the Divas Go to Europe episodes of past?
What?
Vomiting.
Oh, yeah. No one got wasted.
No, because
Maybe
you
next
guys
week.
pointed out when Brie was trying to wake Nikki up to go to the gym, was remember last season when they on the Europe tour when Brie was out all night with Paige drinking too much and Nikki went to wake her up and she responded by throwing up on Nikki's
That was
boobs.
awesome.
Oh my God, that has to be
was
the
awesome.
best reality TV moment of all time. Any excuse to talk about
It's just
that.
been playing in my head over
feel like
and over
They
and
need
over.
to use that more often. But I guess they don't because it it shows Brie in a little bit of a negative light as far as like drinking too much.
Yeah.
And she's one of their stars, so.
And WWE has kind of tried to change what Brie mode means.
Oh,
in
she was
realm.
on vacation. She didn't drive. She was having fun.
Right. I mean, to actually, like, I feel like they're always putting Nikki and Brie up to a storyline. And this time, like, there could be nothing more real than projectile vomiting on your sister's fake boobs. Like,
After drinking too much.
that was so good.
So disgusting.
Chiral says vomiting. This isn't Tosh.0. Which I just had on, which I just had on at home before I was leaving here, and there was like a big vomit scene, so I suppose. We're watching the same show, AJO314. What else? Oh, SM Down H9, thank you for the compliment. George Cisneros said, I love hashtag Brie mode.
Me too.
Word. Well, the Bellas were kind of in the mode of like excluding themselves on this episode. What did you guys think about this whole storyline? Like, they kind of keep going off and doing their own thing, and Eva ends up being invited along on some of these excursions. Mandy's mad. What did you guys think of all that?
I think Mandy was overreacting a little bit. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't know what Eva was trying to do. Eva was trying to make amends and make things better and reconnect with the Bella twins, and Mandy didn't know that. I think that if you have an agreement and be like, hey, I got your back, Megan, you got mine, we're gonna stick together on this trip. If my intentions are to go do that with another group, I'm gonna pull you aside and be like, hey, I hope you don't mind, I'm gonna go do this, but hey, let's do this tomorrow. You know, I probably would have taken that approach. So, I mean, I understand why she was upset, but I think she took it a little bit too far. You know, and if that's what Eva needs to do to make things better, then so be it. Why not? And, you know, and I think the whole getting mad about not getting invited to dinner, I think in some certain situations, it's not your place to invite. You know, like if your family is going to host something at your house, I can't go and invite like 10 other people. It's not my place. So, you know, for John to make reservations like that, Nikki is going to have to be the one to invite people, you know, the way that she invited Natty.
I'm gonna say this rental house had a lot to do with why it seemed like the Bellas were excluding themselves, because I think if they were all staying at a hotel, everybody's plans would have been different.
That's true.
You know, it's like, oh, well, John got Brie and Nikki this great dinner reservation at this really hard to, you know, place that's really hard to get into. Like, that wouldn't have like phased them. But for the fact that there was a chef there cooking like one big group meal for them, and they were all staying together in this one house, it probably seems like they're running off and excluding themselves every chance they could get. And I think it's just a matter of, they would have had all those plans anyway in Paris, or like they made all those plans for themselves before production even was like, oh, guess what, we're going to shove you all in one house to make it easier for us to film scenes for the show, because you'll all be shoved in there together. You know, throw a little wine in, stir, drama.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just think it's a production made it look that way. They were running off and doing separate things, but I think that they normally would have anyway.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. No, but like, I never think about the whole production side of it, and that makes a good point. I mean, I think it's easier for them because they're sisters. It's family, you know? Like, I probably would have been like telling my sister, okay, hey, like, what do you want to do? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I also probably would have been like, hey, do you want to come? We're going to go bike riding. You know, I would have done that, but I would have made my own plans. But to each his own, everybody travels different.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as far as Eva Marie is concerned, I'm wondering if with Mandy, you know, Eva tried to befriend her at first, and I think tried to make the transition easy for Mandy. And maybe now Eva's at the point where she's like, dude, I've been here for 5 seasons, and I'm still making amends and trying to build relationships with these girls. Right. Why am I going to help her? Like, why am I going to invite her along? Like, I almost feel like maybe Eva's gotten to the point where she's like, you know what? You're on your own.
Really?
Like, I was on my own. You're on your own.
I don't think so. I just think that, you know, you got to help yourself before you help somebody else. And if you haven't fulfilled that, how can you tell someone how to do it?
Yeah. I think there's stuff we're not seeing with Mandy too, that's like cutting room floor, or like they cut her off when she was saying like why she was upset and crying. Like you could see that she kept talking, but they muted her, you know, her voice and then started doing her like interview voiceover on top of it. And it's like, okay, like some other stuff has gone on. She said like, oh, it's a combination of things, but they, you know, then they cut it off.
Right.
So, and she said coming into this has been really hard. So there's definitely a lot of stuff going on with her being thrown from NXT onto being on this show. You know, she's gotten a lot of pressure from the other girls. Like, why are you even here? Why did you get gifted with being on the show? You know, it's a lot of stuff, and we're not privy to it all. It's a little annoying as a viewer.
Agreed. Well, while there may be some things brewing there, Foxy and Rosa finally have a conversation. It sounds like they haven't talked for like 4 or 5 weeks, and it just blows over so quick. Like, it's like, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, it's cool. Okay, let's be friends again. For as angry as they both still were, I just could not believe that it dissipated that quickly. Was it too easy for you guys?
I did not like it at all.
No.
It seemed fake.
Yeah, it wasn't even a conversation.
Like Rosa goes, oh, sorry, I like didn't realize that's why you felt that way.
Can you do it again?
You know how her
Spot on, Megan. Spot on.
I'm like, that's it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then Foxy just drags on, like repeating herself.
I know.
Almost,
I don't even know if I bought it, that wasn't like production saying like, say this to each other. Okay.
And then
you
hug.
guys can go back to shopping. Like,
I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, my friends I've been friends with for 10 years or more. I get like, hey, best friends get into a fight and you blow it over and you move on. Totally like can understand getting through something really fast. But I feel like this was too big of an issue for it to mend so quickly. Just like all of a sudden it takes like a trip in like 5 months. You know, like I don't know what that time frame was. But I feel like the issues that were there were too big. I felt like it needed more.
Agreed.
yeah. And if it took them longer to talk it out, like being cut down to like 2 sentences between the two of them, like waste of time.
I don't know. I think it kind of bugged me that Rosa, we didn't get to see if she was even thinking about like what's wrong with Foxy, like is there what's going on with her, you know, like not even concerned. Like, you're really gonna tell me that last episode she really didn't hear her say he's sick, Preachy is sick?
Right.
That's something big.
Yeah,
Are you
and that
kidding
remains
me?
unresolved now.
I could be having a baby and you can say someone is sick and I'm like, what do you need? I'll drop everything.
Paulina's a good friend, y'all. Meanwhile, those Bella twins, Nikki and Brie, they go on this bike ride. Brie is still all about the workout and the this and that, but she comes to the same conclusion as she does every week. She's like, oh, I was too hard on Nikki. I guess I need to understand. I understood. Okay, now let's have French fries.
They both do it to each other.
They do. It's like the same. Like Brie, next time, instead of being judgy, just realize that you're going to decide to understand Nikki and just skip it.
I think it's because you
Just skip
don't
the
have any
turmoil.
siblings.
Yeah.
I think that's why you're so like anti their whole like little
always forget
banter.
that.
You're right. I have a hard time understanding. I also have a hard time understanding why Brie can't go to Chanel. Like, you make the money too, girl. If you want yourself some Chanel, go buy some Chanel.
He got
I don't care
mad
what,
that she
what
spent
DV's
so
gonna say
much
about
money
it.
on what, a dress or clothes. Remember when he was going through her closet?
That's right.
Throwing
Yeah.
clothes away. I was like, I'll take them, but that's true. She does make the money. I would too.
How about this closing scene with Fred? Fred is the model, the
I
male
was like,
model.
who's Fred?
Oh, you guys didn't catch his name?
No,
No, not at all.
No.
Ponytail guy?
Okay,
nice
we won't go with penis guy, then I guess. But this was pretty funny, and the fact that they didn't even notice when he took off his
Natty
clothes.
didn't notice.
I mean, hello, naked man in the room, like 3 feet from your face. Just saying.
I really
Look up once in a while.
I enjoy that they threw this in and that Natty got so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That
I
she
would've,
like
too.
left, went and hung out with the Bellas and pretended like she didn't even tell them why. She wasn't even like, oh,
She didn't want to talk about it.
I know. She wasn't even like, freaking Paige sent like a naked model in to make fun of me. And she just was like, yeah, hi, what? I'm just taking a break. What? Yeah, I'll go to dinner with you to get anything to get out of this house.
Oh, and this episode wraps kind of nicely with Rosa and Foxy and Paige all consoling Mandy. And this was a good kind of a girl power moment where they did all get together. They were concerned that she felt bad and they tried to make her feel better. And we don't get those scenes very often. They like to give us the drama. And this one was just kind of nice.
It was way too sappy for me.
Too sappy for Paulina. Forget it. Well, then let's move on to some news and gossip. All right, I'm gonna save the best one for last. So Brie Bella said in an interview she has actually not had her last match. We have all heard that she is retiring, but she says that after she has all these babies she's gonna have, she wants to go back to wrestling, and that even in the meantime she's gonna continue as an ambassador with WWE. But she says, no, I have not had my last match.
Thank God. I know I read that and I was like, whew, what a
Right?
relief.
Thank you. All right, now here's the big bomb, guys. Ready? WWE filed to trademark the term Total Bellas. And they specified the purpose of this trademark to be for a reality program. So, is this a spin-off?
Yes.
Finally?
Yes.
And they're not calling it Being Bella? What the heck? Or are they just changing the name of Total Divas because they're not divas anymore to Total Bellas?
I think that you should trademark the name Being Bella.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
You thought of it.
I think that if you're gonna do a show with cast members, don't call it Being Bella. Use that for the spin-off of Just the Family.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
if
it's a
I'm on the
spin-off.
cast and it's like Total Bellas, I'm like, well, that sucks for me.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be Brian being a, like holier than thou smartass.
Yes.
It's gonna be Brie and Nikki and their BS, and it's gonna be
JJ.
Cena just laughing.
I can't with JJ. My stomach turns when I think about him. And Cena, my fave. I'm so
It's gonna
excited.
be so good. Well, and I've always worried about a Bella spinoff killing Total Divas, but I think now that they have added, well, now that we've got kind of a power-packed house of like Maurice and Renee Young, Naomi's back, Lana's been added. It's like I think they're preempting that by adding these other big deal divas. Like Maurice is probably going to carry the show after this. She's going to become the Bellas. So yay, spinoff!
Yay!
I'm dying to know what the chat roll has to say about that. They were talking about it before our show even started.
Total
tonight,
Bella. Is it
right?
Bella or Bellas?
Bellas. Total Bellas.
Total Bellas.
They'll be contacting you to do the VO any moment, Megan.
Hello, I'm waiting by the phone.
All right, well, let's round this out with a little bit of total throwback, people.
I hate this game.
What's throwback?
And last week was too easy, so
Which
this
one of us
week,
is gonna be
this week is going to be
wrong?
quite hard.
Okay.
Wait, she got it right last week.
She did. It was too easy. All
Is
right,
it multiple
ladies.
choice?
It is not multiple choice.
Can we have
True and
a
false?
multiple
You
choice?
just got to
True
give me a
and false?
name, girls.
FML. All right.
Which diva revealed in the
Eva.
first season?
I don't know.
With all the engagements and weddings we've got on this show, which diva revealed that she has been engaged before, and it was to a much older man? Which one of our divas was previously engaged?
Engaged
to a
or married?
Much older man, engaged.
I have an answer. But I don't.
Hit it, girl.
Brie, I know she was married before. No.
No, it was Nikki that was married before, and
Oh, that's what I meant to say. That's
Neither
what I meant
Brie
to say.
nor
That's what I
Nikki
meant
are
to
the
say.
answer to this question.
Dang
No,
it. Never mind.
Trinity?
Nope.
Wait.
You were on track right away before even hearing the question. It was Eva Marie.
So I was right.
I don't know if that counts, but I'm going to give it to you.
It's gonna count.
I'm going to give it to you.
It's gonna count.
We'll have to go back and rewatch our episodes and get a tally.
How long was Nikki married?
Nikki was married for a few years.
3, I thought.
Like, wasn't
Really?
it that
Something
she
like
got
that.
married at like 18 or 19? And yeah, and it was until she was like 21, 22.
It was before she was even with
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Family
all
didn't
these
even know.
juicy storylines. Oh, you guys in the chat roll didn't get it right either. Wow, I feel so vindicated. They are also talking about maybe Total Divas should be called Total Blondes. Elizabeth R.
No.
Andrea Beeler says Total Bellas needs to be a spinoff. Andrea also said Marie sucks. I don't want her Total Divas at all. Elizabeth R is excited about Lana. They better not change Total Divas to Total Bellas. People will be mad. Andrea Biller says Brie spoils herself in a different way. That's true. That's true. Oh, I just love hearing you guys take on all of this and breaking down Total Divas. I'm like so upset that it's going to be over after next week. I can't even tell you. I can't even talk about it. So I'm just going to let these girls tell you where to hit them up on social media.
You guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar.
And you guys can find me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. It's all at Megan Stecher, and that is spelled MEGANSTECHER.
All right, and you guys can all follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Christy Reports. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Christy Reports, and make sure you come back next week for the big finale, part 2 of C'est La Diva. This has been the AfterBuzz TV Total Divas After Show. We love ya. Have a great week. Ciao.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
From executive producers.